opinions on these key and pressing issues that is affecting our country. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of what we'll be talking about, I want you to introduce yourself so that viewers know who you are.
Yeah. Well, my name is Aka. The full name is Aka Siwachenda. I'm a reverend, entrepreneur, media personality. What else should I say? A father, a husband. I'll just say Zambia Kuchalo. Yeah. Yeah.
So, Mr. Aka, today on Loud and Clear, we've got key pressing issues that I would want your input on.
Yes.
So today it is a sad day for Zambia. We've lost a very gallant woman.
Indeed.
Madam Edith Zewelani Nawakwi, who passed away this morning, the 7th of April 2025 at the age over 66.
Oh man.
So before we get into that, I just want to do a brief, we look at the life and history of Madam Edith Nawakwi.
Yeah.
This is not just a loss of a former cabinet minister, it is also a loss of a trailblazer, a fighter, a political icon who opened doors for women across Zambia and beyond. So now let's take a look at the legacy that Madam Edith Nawakwi leaves behind.
Absolutely.
She was the first in Zambia and SADC to serve as finance minister.
Yes.
Held top ministerial roles in agriculture, energy and labor.
Yeah.
Founded and led the Forum for Democracy and Development, FTD. First woman to run for president in Zambia, which was in the 2011 general elections and in 2016.
Yeah.
Advocated fiercely for women empowerment, youth engagement, and national economic transformation. Madam Nawakwi's death reminds us of how far we've come and how far we still have to go when it comes to women in politics. She proved that women don't belong in the sidelines. They belong at the table, in the cabinet, on the ballot, and in State House. Her death leaves a vacuum, but her legacy lights a path for young women who dare to lead. Rest in peace, Madam Edith Nawakwi. So when you look at such a loss, what is your thought on the untimely death of Madam Nawakwi?
In the first place, I would like to commiserate with the family of Madam Edith, Honorable Nawakwi, and our deepest condolences to Madam Nawakwi and the family. Well, it's such a great loss to the nation. Madam Edith, one thing that I remember about her, she was not a pushover.
Definitely.
Like she was seriously, she was a strong woman, and she had so much resilience and fighting power. So we've lost her, and there's nobody who can replace Edith. But women should rise up and do what she was doing.
I've been seeing on social media throughout the day today.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been sending in their condolences.
Yeah.
They've been talking about how much of a powerful woman she is and how she contributed to the well-being of our political sphere. But again, on social media, there is this other thing that I'm seeing. People are saying, why do we Zambians love saying good things about somebody when they die, but when they are still here with us, we don't say good things? Is there any truth to that?
I think that's human nature, because you know, time and again, Madam Edith was supposed to go to court, and you would hear she would send a lawyer saying, no, I can't go because I've been hospitalized and all that. It sounded like she was trying to run away from something, but and people probably did not believe that she was sick, and indeed she was sick because she's passed on. It's a lesson. This has to be a lesson to all of us, that this life is real. It's not a rehearsal. Yeah. So let's treat each other with the respect that is required.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
and now when you look at the current state of affairs in our politics in Zambia, do you feel like we have a political landscape that is accommodative for divergent views? Because when you just go by what is trending on social media, you might think we're living in the worst country on earth. Yeah. From your personal experience, do you think we have enough room for divergent views in our politics? And do you think our politics is being conducted in the way that there is still brotherly love towards each other?
So there's one thing that I've observed and noticed. I've spent a lot of time with politicians, with the honorables.
Yeah.
Abakuntanshi. You know, Abakuntanshi will be having a meal together. They are best friends and they are everything. But when they mean to argue, they argue. Yeah. But for us who are followers, we can even kill each other for those people, which should not be the case. Let's allow each other to agree and disagree. And right now, there is still room for everyone on the table, for women, for men. But you know what? We do not have the same opinions. Like, there's a guy I was talking to some maybe an hour ago.
Yeah.
The guy asked him, do you have kids or are you married?
Yes.
Then the guy says, oh no, I don't believe in marriage, I don't want to get married and whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what, I could not argue with him because each one of us have our own views.
To each his own.
So if marriage does not work for me, it will work for me. Or having kids does not work for me, it will work for you. So let's just agree to disagree. So there's room for everybody at the table.
Amazing. I love the way you're coming out.
Yeah.
Moving on to our second story. We've got a lot of things that are trending in the country, and I want you to give your honest opinion. Lumezi Member of Parliament Munir Zulu has officially been convicted and sentenced to 12 months imprisonment with hard labor for criminal libel. This stems from accusations he made in 2023 alleging that Finance Minister Dr. Stumbeko Musokotwane and Infrastructure Minister Charles Milupi had received corrupt payments. The court ruled these statements as defamatory, and despite his fierce defense, the gavel came down. Some say justice was served, others say it is political silencing. We want to hear from you. Do you think that was justice that has been served, or that was just political persecution? And you, our viewers, we also want to get your opinion in the comment section. Let us know, what do you think about the ruling that has been handed over to Honorable Munir Zulu? So you'll be serving a 12-month sentence, sorry. What is your take on that?
So in the first place, I would like to say I'm non-partisan, number one. And number two, you know, I feel that we ought to have respect for everyone. We ought to respect each one, everybody, whether they are from another political party or they are from your political party, which means that you don't just speak anyhow. Don't infringe anybody's right, because everybody has their right.
Yes.
So now, you ought to do the right thing so that somebody does not accuse you that you were doing a wrong thing or whatever. But regarding the judgment, I will not say they were not just or they are just, because the honorable justices and the magistrate, they know how to interpret this law. But it's so unfortunate. Honorable Munir is he's a father and he's a husband. So he's been taken away from his family, and let's just make sure that some of these things we avoid. Nowadays, you'll be talking about somebody, meanwhile they have rights.
Yes.
So don't just speak against somebody. Let's love one another. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Do you know the implication of Honorable Munir being convicted? It means we might have a by-election in his constituency.
So talking about constituencies, now there is a proposed amendment of the Constitution where...
That is something that I was coming to. That's one of the topics that...
Yeah.
That's one of the topics that we'll actually be looking into, but yeah, go ahead.
So now there is they're proposing the amendment of the Constitution, and some of those things they want be done with. But other quarters and sides of the society, they are saying, no, this should not be done so quick. So should we spend millions in a by-election, or should we just leave it as it is?
That's $1 million question. But other people, you know what other people think?
Yeah.
There's been this outcry to say, if we say let us do a proportional representative system where we avoid by-elections, where the party that wins, in case of what has happened, the party can just field in someone else from the party and we avoid by-elections altogether. The people that are against this say that is taking away the power from the people to elect who their representatives should be. If you let the parties decide, then the people's voices will not be heard. What is your take on people that come out in that way?
So my take there would be, take it to the people and the people will decide.
I like that. And then the other thing that we can learn from all this is we need to be careful when we make certain accusations about people. Libel is a very serious offense, and we need to make sure that everything that we put out is fact-checked.
Exactly.
We are not just making assumptions from without. We fact-checked everything that we say.
So if I said, you stole a chicken, I need to bring proof. I need to bring evidence.
But you know how you protect yourself? You say allegedly.
Yeah.
You know the word allegedly?
It's a powerful word.
You say it is alleged that Mr. Kusanta stole a chicken.
Yes.
Meaning you're not accusing me of stealing a chicken. You are assuming, like you are protecting yourself, and you are putting it in such a way that it's palatable to everyone and I cannot sue you, because you're not actually accusing me, you're alleging.
But in this case, was he alleging or he stated the facts?
He stated the facts, saying that they were bribed, they were corrupt drafted.
Yeah.
And they were not very keen about those allegations. So I took him to court, and then the courts did their thing.
Yeah.
And today the judgment doesn't pass. So we are waiting to see what is going to be. Is it going to appeal? Where does it go from here? And what will the Speaker of the National Assembly do? Because when you think about it, we are almost just about a year, 2, 3 months from the next general election. So I think an election a year before the general election,
it's a waste of money and resources. Yeah,
it's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
So to our viewers, we want to know your take on what we're talking about this afternoon. You can go in our comment section in the live stream and let us know what you think about the stories that we're talking about. Now, you had already preempted our next story.
Yes, sir.
The constitutional amendments.
Yes, sir.
Half of the political divide is saying it is ill time to try and amend the constitution now.
Yeah.
Do you really think it is what the country needs as of now?
Do you know that a lot of presidents, the past presidents, most of them wanted to do it, but they did not have the courage.
Okay.
So there's no right time and there's no wrong time to do this, for as long as the people agree. It's a constitution of the people, for the people. So it's not a wrong time and it's not a right time, for as long as they go to the people agree on A, B, C, D. That way it makes it right.
My take on this is that as long as it is done with the good intentions and it's not done to... I remember past constitutional amendments. I remember when we changed the constitution to bar people whose parents were not born in Zambia.
Yes.
That was specifically done to target one individual, who was Dr. KK back then.
Yes.
To ensure that it does not resurface and come back into power.
Yeah.
So I only hope this amendment, we are not targeting people.
Did you look at the dossier? Did you look at the document?
I looked at the document. So this is
what looked funny there.
For me, there is nothing that is funny. We have to wait for the bill to be done. People are arguing about the parts that they want to amend.
Yeah.
So for me, I've held my guns, saying until there is a bill, until we can look at the fine print of what is contained in the bill, then we can say how if they fee. But for now, what we just have is a roadmap and tentative areas that will be touched.
Yeah.
So until the bill is presented to us, it's presented on the floor of Parliament, then we can start the true argument.
Absolutely.
I feel like right now it's a bit premature to say whether this is good or it's bad, because the bill hasn't been presented to us.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
until that time when the bill is there, the fine print is there.
Yeah.
We get to read through and look through. Then we can say, oh, they're trying to do this or they're not trying to do this. So for now, I feel like, I think as society changes, we need to also change.
Absolutely.
To be in tandem with the current prevailing situation. So I feel like it is a welcome move, but we have to wait and see until the bill is presented.
And the cyber bill, what's your take?
I'm a social media person. I believe that we should respect each other, but I also believe in free speech.
Okay.
So I have to look at the fine print. I feel like people should have the right to express themselves in the best way they feel possible. Okay. I'm against the idea of curtailing people going on social media and expressing themselves. I'm also against the proposed license for podcasters and going live on Facebook. I feel like that is unnecessary red tape.
It's unnecessary,
red tape, but we have to see how this all transpires.
Okay.
So now moving on to our next story.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next story. Last week we saw a protest.
Yes.
In one of the most emotional stories last week, Lusaka streets were filled with protesters demanding stronger laws to protect children from defilement and rape.
Yes.
Clad in black, armed with placards, the protesters delivered a petition to the Vice President's office. Their key demands were no bail for offenders, stiffer sentencing, speedy justice for victims. It's heartbreaking that children in our nation continue to be victims of such horrific acts, and often justice comes too late or not at all. Today we stand in solidarity with survivors, with families, and with those on the front lines fighting child and protecting children. What is your take on the surge of the rise in the number of cases of children being defiled?
But they left one here.
Okay.
One, castration. They left castration out.
Okay.
For me, that makes me sick. People are doing that as sick people. Why would you do that to a child?
That is what I don't understand. What do you think is pushing men? I've seen on various media outlets where they're saying some of these are rituals, they're money rituals. People, the sangomas, when people go and visit their sangomas, they're advised to do stuff like that.
There's some people who are sick, they'll be told, no, when you sleep with a virgin, you get better. And nowadays they can't find a virgin because most of the people are devirginated, so they opt on going to molest kids. But for me, if I had the powers, maybe I would do a death sentence for them. So I can't stomach that. I can't stomach that abuse or even abuse at all. Let's respect our children. Let's respect our women. Let's respect our men as well. I've seen where men have been abused. You know, this gender-based violence, it's not just for women. I've seen people hit a wife, hit a man carelessly and senselessly. But what I believe in, let's respect every human, but this that's happening right now, it's not of God, it's of the devil, and it's very horrific. So I do not stand for that. And at Inuit, we don't do that, do we?
No, we don't
no,
do that.
No.
We clearly stand against the people that are involved in such vices.
Yeah.
What do you think is the right course of action? What should we do as a society? What role can we play as men and as women and as members of the society?
Okay, so
that we protect the well-being of the children.
So the first thing that we need to do is to sensitize. You know, they say information and knowledge is power, right? We sensitize. And number two, let's use some of these people as an example. Okay, let's lock them up. They'll come out after maybe 30 years or 40 or 60 years. So let's use them as an example. That's what I think. But number one, sensitization. But why should I sensitize you over taking care of your own child, your girl child or your boy child? And that's your child. So let's sensitize them. When you do this, we'll sort you out. When you do this, we'll castrate you. When I hope castrate is not a strong word here. Yeah. Ngawachitefi twala kuma. Ngawachitefi ni vitende ni. You know that song Vitende?
Yeah, Sister D. Yes.
Sister D sang this thing years ago. I don't know whether you were born that time.
I was born. I remember. I even remember the video that she did. But why is it that in the recent past, the numbers have gone up? The cases have gone up. Is it that people are now free to actually report these cases? Or it's just that the surge has just gone out of hand?
So number one, there's been a surge. Whatever has been reported up to this time, it's not everybody who has reported.
Yes.
So now people have been made aware that when this thing happens, you ought to report. So let's continue sensitizing people. Now you see what will happen. Let's sensitize, and let's empower the people, empower the children as well. There's some countries where when you don't give your child a cell phone, they'll phone child line.
Yes.
Yeah, that I don't stand for. But abusing children is not allowed. So I think we need to start sensitizing people that Imwe, when you do this, tizami manga for 30 years. Seems a choke, but before we manga you, we'll castrate you.
Okay.
I don't know why I like castrating.
I saw a video on social media they did before yesterday. So it was a video of 3 women that had gone to a police post.
Yes.
So their husband, these are 3 women that are married to 1 man.
Yeah.
So the husband is in custody for defiling one of the women's daughter.
Whoa.
So the women went there to say, yes, the women, the first wife, the second wife, and the third wife.
Defending the perpetrator.
Yes, and they said, we want you to release our husband. And then the government can take care of our daughter.
What?
Yes. They said, government, you can take care of the child. Give us back our husband. So now it left me thinking.
Yeah.
Like, what society are we living in?
Sick.
How can women, like the mother who knows the child has been defiled, go to the police to actually demand that the husband is released and let him go back home?
Sir.
And the government can take care of the child, do the counseling and take care of her, but they want their husband back. So is it possible that women in the communities are actually hiding or protecting the perpetrators of these vices?
It's not just women. Families are busy protecting others. There's even incest that's happening. There's some kids who are born. Up to now, they could be in their 20s or 30s. They don't even know who their father is. But it happened within the family. I think as families, we ought to learn one thing. When we protect people against such vices, we'll end up with a society that's sick and a society that's damaged. The best thing that we could do right now is to protect the girl child and do what's right. Even God, you know what? Even God won't place a blessing upon our families if we start doing this. Incest, even dogs, even cats, rabbits, we don't allow them having sex between brother and sister.
Yeah.
No.
Even when you're breeding dogs.
We don't do that.
Yes, because of inbreeding.
Inbreeding, yes.
Yes.
Number
because
one,
they'll
be weaker and they'll die quickly, and Down syndrome and whatever. But then why should this happen to us as human beings? This should not be the case.
So now, when it comes to those people that are doing this in society and are being told by traditional healers and the people that they go out to, what should we do when we find out that what happens to the person that is actually telling people to go and do that?
So if the Nganga is able to prove that, if the gentleman or whoever is able to prove that this is the person who gave me this prescription, bring the prescription and then we'll get them incarcerated.
So we beg you, please safeguard the girl child.
Yeah.
Let us protect our women and let us protect everyone else. Rape and defilement are two things that should not be supported.
Yeah.
If you know somebody out there that has been defiled, has been raped, please go and report to the nearest police station. And let us bring the culprits to book. You know, there is this other thing on the street where they say snitching is bad.
They say snitches get stitches. Yeah.
So when I go and report, if there is a case of defilement in my community and I go and report, can I be labeled as a snitch?
No, you're not a snitch. You're a savior. You're just saving the community. So we need to report these vices. If there's a child who cries uncontrollably and you don't know why this child cries, please, Puapapata, you have to contact the authorities. Otherwise, we'll have a very damaged society.
Okay.
Yep.
So now moving into something that is a bit softer compared to the previous topic that we've just had. Something that is a bit softer.
Yes, sir.
This is something that is trending on social media. I don't know if you are very familiar with these socialites and social trends.
Yeah, absolutely. A few of them, and a few of them are our friends.
So right now, social media is going ablaze. It's Junior Lwala, this is baby mama, Gezile. So there is public drama.
Yeah.
So in an explosive social media fallout, influencer Gezile and businessman Junior Lwala, Gezile has publicly claimed that Junior Lwala fathered the child and has refused to take responsibility. Lwala, however, insists he's not the father and is threatening legal action for defamation. People are divided. Is this about accountability, clout chasing, or a relationship gone bitter? But here is a deeper issue. When private pain becomes public drama, who gets hurt the most, and how do we protect children caught in the middle?
Okay.
So Gezile was on TikTok 2 days ago.
Yeah.
She was saying Junior Lwala is a deadbeat dad. He does not pay child support, and they all 9 yards.
Yeah.
And she went further to say she's found somebody better, and she's happy that her daughter doesn't look like the father, because the other women that he has fathered the children are not good looking because the father is not good looking.
Oh man.
She was online saying those things. So for me, it bothered me. I was thinking, what does this say about her? And how will this affect the child? Because the child will grow up and will find these videos. The internet doesn't forget.
Yeah.
The child will grow up and will find these videos. So when you look at that drama playing out on social media, is that okay?
So first and foremost, maybe what they ought to do. She wants child maintenance, right?
Yes.
And
she claims he doesn't even know how much a child's school fees are.
Okay.
Private school fees are.
Okay, so she's claiming he doesn't support the child.
Yes.
And he's claiming it's not his baby, is that?
At first he claimed it was not his baby. They sat down, the family sat down, and then it was established that it was the father. He took responsibility.
Okay.
I think 3 months ago she even posted a video saying he loves her. She was even pointing some of her friends who are throwing themselves at him.
Wow.
Saying, hey, Shani, whatever, even bought her a car. And then I don't know what has happened. Well, she's gone back to social media and made those claims.
If I was Junior Lwala, the first thing that I would do is kumudwalira. The first thing I would do is I'll do a DNA test. Once you do a DNA test, it will sort a lot of things out. Yeah. I think that's the first thing that he needs to do. Number 2, don't bring the child to social media.
Yeah.
Children are innocent.
Yes.
Children are angels. Children are, but you know that had she not gotten involved with Junior Lwala, she would not have been the Gezile that she is.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
So the fame and everything that she got, I think, is from that same thing. But what we need to do is he needs to do a DNA test. Families will see it, families will do whatever they do, but they need to see it so that this thing comes to an end. If they love each other, let them love each other. If they don't love each other, let them just do child maintenance, and that's all. There is no need to go to social media regarding your baby daddy. Did you make that baby per social media? No.
Yeah.
Go in private and sort out your matters in private. That's my advice.
Okay, and what is your, because she's you know what for me, what has been my biggest bone of contention, is where 4 months ago she was saying he's such a good man, he's taking care of me, he's bought me a car. Now she's saying
what changed?
He's ugly, he doesn't look nice, and she thanks God that a child took after her and not the father.
You don't say things like that.
Like, for me, it boggled my mind. I'm like, didn't you think about this when you were having a kid with
Okay,
this
so
man?
if she said something about you like that, would you still support her?
If it were me...
Would you still buy a car?
No, I wouldn't buy
Would you still...
I wouldn't buy a car. I wouldn't buy a car. Definitely, I wouldn't buy a car. But what bothers me is the fact that she's saying she's found a man who's richer than the other, Junior Lwala. And she's happy where she is.
Congratulations,
but if I was
Gezile.
the other man, if I was the other man, I would not be very comfortable, my woman, having an all-out war with another man on social media. It puts me in an awkward position. That's how I feel. Like it would put me in an awkward position. And I feel like these matters, you know, the thing is, but you can fight and fix.
Exactly.
So what will people think of you when you bring and wash your dirty linen in public?
Okay, but what do our viewers think?
In the comment section, I want to get your views, our viewers. What do you think about the issue of Junior Lwala and Gezile taking their personal issues to social media? Is this the right way of handling these issues? If not, let us know what you think in the comment section. The issue, so Tracy says she's very childish.
Oh man, Tracy.
Let us know what you think. Others say otherwise can't support a nonsense. Okay. That is what they are saying in the comments.
Yeah, was that Tracy?
Yeah, Tracy says she's childish and otherwise she can't support nonsense. But then when you go through the comments on our videos, a lot of people are saying, well, girl power, woman empowerment, women should stand for themselves. What do you think about that?
But that's, I think that's not the way women should stand for themselves.
Yes.
There's a better way of a woman standing for themselves. Number one, if you're unable to support your child, work hard, be able to support the child. If you ought to go to school, school. You know, I've heard girls say, I don't date broke guys.
Yeah.
I had somebody who told me that maybe I've just not met the right person.
Yes.
That's why I'm not married.
Yes.
But are you, number one, are you the right person?
That's a very important question.
Yeah.
We never ask ourselves that. It's always blaming people. It's always pushing the blame out.
The right person.
Yes.
Are you?
Like, I'm also like, I hate to have to admit it.
Yes.
But I also sometimes do not take accountability for my actions. Sometimes I put it on other people.
Yeah.
Which I feel is what is pertaining in most people.
Yeah.
We do not want to take accountability for our own actions.
Yeah.
The role that we play in when things go astray. Both of the parties involved have a role to play.
You've worked before, right?
Yes.
You've worked before.
I'm working right now.
Has your boss scolded you or put you back in line?
Yes, on several occasions.
Did you leave that boss-employee relationship?
No.
Then why is it that your girlfriend will tell you, baby, this you don't do, this you don't do, this you don't do, and there you go, you're leaving the relationship?
So we've got another comment. Madam Gloria says very shouty. I'm not running away from that. That's what this other one says both of them are childish. Madam Tracy says taking the issue to social media is the worst thing one can do.
Yeah.
This will affect the child in the future. Very true. The internet does not forget. The internet does not forget.
Yeah.
The internet does not forget.
Yeah.
The other thing, moving away from not staying on the issue of social media.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of people.
Yeah.
Is social media a good thing or is it a bad thing? Because we've seen people like that woman, that lady who put out X-rated content on the internet.
Wow.
Was also arrested. Chikondi is her name.
Oh,
the girl that went viral.
The one from Mutumbi.
Yes, the girl that went viral. Do you think people are not using social media well, or are we desperate for attention, for likes and comments, that we are able to do things that jeopardize our standing in society?
Social media is like a fork. You give a fork to me,
yes,
I'll do two things to it or with it.
Yes.
Number one, I'll use the fork and knife the way it's supposed to be used to eat.
Yeah.
Others will use that fork to plant seedlings.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So, social media ought to be used in a very, very, very professional and proper way. Social media will make you money.
Yeah.
And social media will damage your reputation, and it's your reputation that will cause you to make money. So it will destroy everything. You ought to choose whether you're going to undress on social media or you are going to dress honorably.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So people are not using social media well.
What could be your piece of advice, especially to the young people? Because young people are the most impressionable members of society. What would be your advice to them on how best they can utilize social media?
Young man, you could be sitting there and you're saying, gentlemen, I love social media and I can say anything on social media.
Yeah.
I saw a guy who was very young who went on social media and insulted the nation and insulted black people.
Yeah.
Now, after 10 years, he's a grown man. In South Africa, you hear there is a government of national unity, they call it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, this guy is from the Democratic Alliance. Now, he's been proposed to be a minister. But now, social media also does not forget.
Social media doesn't forget.
Social media brought up what he said, swearing, insulting 10 years ago. But is this the kind of person you want to appoint as a minister? Remember, whatever you type, right now, if you're looking for a job, your employers, your would-be employers first will go to social media.
Every job that I've applied for, they tell me when you're applying, they'll tell you, give us your social media handles.
Yes.
They have to do a background check.
Yes, they'll do a background check. So now, those dances, those Tuma dances that you do.
Yes.
But sister, those Tuma dances that you do,
yes,
is that the kind of lawyer that company is looking for? Be careful what you post on social media. They say computers are like computers, it's garbage in, garbage out.
Okay.
Yeah. So you put madongo dongo there, your results will be madongo dongo.
Obviously.
Yes. So I support those people using social media in a better way, and we can use social media in the best way.
Definitely. So let's look at some of the comments. This
Yes,
one says,
sir.
the problem is women and money. There is something that you can't understand, Mwandin. This one says, people are misusing social media. This one says, Amaka Simervi says, real talk, Madam Diles. Kapundula says, exactly. This other one says, social media is not a bad thing, but us people are the ones who are bad.
True.
Madam Diles says, we are hearing you. When you look at a character like Wyman and what he has done to his own personal brand, do you think that he's coming back from what he has done to himself?
Yeah, there is.
You think he can redeem himself? He got 1 year in jail. The people started feeling sorry for him when he was going to court. The day he was sentenced to that 1 year and he was released due to time saved.
Yeah.
Everybody was expecting that he'll be a reformed man. He'll come back different. And then when he appeared, the minute they gave him a phone, he logged into his TikTok. He went ballistic. It was like 10 times worse than it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you think there is redemption for him?
Redemption there is. He just needs to change. He just needs to change his life. There's redemption. But whatever he says, you know that whatever we say, you say. When the police come to arrest you, they'll tell you that whatever you say shall be used against you in the court of law. So they say you have the right to remain silent.
Yeah.
Even this, you and I, this that we are saying, people will go to our social media handle to just check, these guys, my guys, do they even say normal things, sensible things, or just
yeah.
So, why me? There is still room for you, my guy. He needs to just cleanse himself and stop doing all that he does. And one day, some people will respect him, some people will judge him, but at the end of the day, he's able to change for as long as he has breath in his body.
Okay. So now, Mr. Ara.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Aka, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Our last topic that we're going to look at is the new movement that has come on the Zambian political scene. Ichaba. What is your take on the Ichaba movement? We've seen prominent people like Makitu say they want to contest in next year's elections. One of the proposed amendments is the inclusion of women, youths, and the people living with disabilities. We create guaranteed seats for them in parliament. We've seen a lot of young people from the likes of Makitu. We've seen Isaac Pomboloka in Ron constituents. We've seen Bena Joffrey. We've seen Elvis Kunda on the Kobe, and so many other young people. We've seen Kings Madembe has also thrown his hat and saying, I want to contest. We've seen Honorable Binwe Mpundu, who has said he's contesting. He wants to run as president of our great republic. Yeah, he even posted it this morning on his social media. Do you think the youths are doing this in great faith? And do you think this is a time that we see more young people in parliament? Looking at the caliber of young people that we've already seen in parliament, we've seen the likes of Honorable Munir Zulu. Young man went to parliament, and before his term of office ends, he finds himself in jail. Another young man that went to parliament was JJ Banda. Was in parliament.
Where is JJ Banda?
Is in exile.
Oh, with Hawaii.
He's in exile. So what is your take? Do you think this is the time for young people?
Young people, listen to me. Young people, don't let anybody look down on you because you are young. Once I spoke to Honorable Venon Mwanga.
VJ Mwanga.
VJ Mwanga was a diplomat, I think, from the age of 16. Look at Kenneth Kaunda. Kenneth Kaunda was not 60 when he started politics. Those guys were young guys. Look at Robert Mugabe. Those guys were young guys. So young people, we can go into politics for as long as we are bringing something to the table. It's not just a fresh face. There's got to be, you have to bring your intellect, your sophistication, you have to bring your energy, and you have to bring everything that requires, what's required at the table. So I will not shoot on young people. Young people, ichimwela. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the movement, yes, movement is good for as long as they do it in good faith and they have something to present. Otherwise, if they have nothing to present but only their youthfulness, then we have a problem.
I don't think just being young is enough of a criteria.
That's what I'm saying.
A seat in parliament. Do you know, they say in Zambia, for you to run a successful campaign, you need about 3.5 million kwacha. You have to have 3.5 million kwacha. That you are ready to lose. For you to run a successful campaign. And most of the young people in our country, they lack the financial muscle. And that is one of the complaints that they have been having. They say the playing field is not fair.
The playing field is not fair, but when you listen, at Ngamulia Mkwipko Ubwadi, at Kopimo Wunga, you hear what I'm saying? If you are going into this battle, you have to check me out. Look at me. Are you able to fight me or you won't be able to fight me? Finances as well, guys. Ma politics umumleya number one. Mukose. Fantu ma politics kwa liba tear gas.
Yes.
Kwa liba tear gas. It's not just tear gas, but you know, there's some people who are going into achimwi tali dafye.
Yes.
Yes. So probably so probably some of these people, they have sponsors. And they're just not just saying it. So do not despise them because they are young. Let's tell them to go forward for as long as they bring something.
Do you know, for me, what I feel and why I support the movement for young people is that when you elect a young person to parliament, they still have their whole life ahead of them. So it is more likely that they will deliver on their promises because they still have a long life ahead of them. And they have more to lose than the older folks. But then again, the negative of young people is that they are easily swayed and they get carried away. So we have to strike a balance. So my appeal to people is that as we go towards election season, let us evaluate people based on their moral standing, what they are saying, and look at their past. Where is this person coming from? You said, we will have to do a background check on you. What you've been posting, because the things I reinvent myself. And then I'm going to post if you're a man on a chat GPT, I post to a man, I'm post to a man. But when you go 2 years on my timeline,
and you know what Boma is? Boma would dig things that, you know that WhatsApp message, hello, shorty? And then, bucket that ka view once. Wasam to na ka view once. Pa, if you're feeling one day fika fuma. So for you to go to war, with people, you have to be a man and a youth of integrity. So, but big up to the youths. We will not discourage them. We will not say they don't have money. They probably know where they'll get money. And yeah, I think this next year will be a very interesting year politically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the Kwambuka ceremony.
Absolutely.
An amazing ceremony, one of the very best. What is your take on the cultural heritage and the richness of our culture?
Yeah. Maybe let me speak in Lozi now.
And the other thing is, a lot of people have been complaining that we've started turning traditional ceremony into political rallies. What is your take on that as well?
No, we don't do that. Where did you see that? Especially in Komboka, we don't do that.
But we saw what happened at Lwala.
Okay, I'm not so sure about that, but it's been amazing. But probably, you know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
Okay, if you're the owner of the garden, you own the garden and you want to check tumatabanga na tupia tuso eko kamu. Yeah, so probably na boss da venanga via community via want to check want to. Yeah, and they are calling them community engagements.
Yes.
But they are not called campaigns because campaign period and season has not yet been launched. Yes. Yeah. So they are just probably
testing 1 2.
Is it testing 1 2 or it's just the father saying hello to the constituencies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's just Bali checking on the children.
People. Do you think we are doing enough to market our cultural heritage in Zambia?
Not enough.
What could be done differently?
So the Ministry of Tourism as well. Ministry of Tourism needs to create incentives. Get young people always on social media and do some publicity on social media and all that. Even just the products that we make here, let the tourism ministry buy them and sell them outside.
Do you know what the problem is?
Yeah.
One thing that I've realized in our country is that for most things it's just business as usual.
It is, yes.
It's just business as usual. One of the most things that disappointed me this year is the National Youth Indaba.
Yes.
I was very eager. It was the first time I was participating. I was very eager. I was excited. I was part of the organizing team.
Yeah.
What in my mind, what I was envisioning and what I saw were two different things.
Yeah.
I expected it to be an engaging conference. I expected those two days to be like, let the people that have come from Vubwi tell us what's happening. It was just disorganized.
Speeches as usual.
Speeches. The first day when the president came, it was even a bit more lively. The second day, 3/4 of the people were not even there. The English conference was empty. And it was just rhetoric after rhetoric. And then after the Indaba, I expected to be a review meeting, go for people, submissions, there were 9 years. But I've turned it into just another day on the calendar. February, March, and there is nothing really that I feel like it was a waste of time and resources on the government's part because they did not achieve anything. I feel like events like that, they should let young people spearhead them, and not just young people from Lusaka. The problem is that they have neglected everyone. It's like 3 or 4 young people that are left to run these programs, and they run like their personal things.
Serious?
Yes.
Maybe what you do is just put it in writing and just give them a proposal. Otherwise, it has to be an indaba.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, I really thought there would be submissions from the constituencies. We would discuss. We will actually hear from the youth themselves.
Would you want to do politics?
I would want to be a commentator, not an active participant.
An analyst?
Yes, like what we're doing here.
And when the politicians are not doing it well, you do it yourself?
I don't have the money. I don't have the money. That's what I'm going to say. I don't have the money.
We'll find them a buyer.
Well, I feel like I can do politics.
Because you sound very, you sound very, what's that word?
Passionate.
Passionate about politics and governance.
I'm passionate about my country. I'm passionate about Zambia. I'm passionate about the well-being of our country.
Yeah.
I'm a patriotic Zambian.
That's good.
I believe the country is bigger than my personal feelings and my personal beliefs. I feel like Zambia should be paramount. The well-being of Zambia should be paramount than my own personal gain. That's what I feel.
So what would you advise Dialis?
But that is what I'm saying. We are supporting the youths. What I would advise by Didas is, in as much as we are supporting the youth, we should ensure that we support youth that have got substance, youth that have got a proper character, youth that will be comfortable. And when that will be comfortable to say, these guys, they are representing the best of us as a people, not the people that represent the worst of us as a people.
Okay, nga for my young at heart.
When my young at heart, nana me bati. Kanabesa pen kwenye msipira national opportunity. Nabena to be shake. But paying opportunity, because I saw one of, is it the lady who's Kaputa MP?
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
I saw that.
I saw a live video and it left very little to be desired. I was looking, when I had to watch that video like 3 or 4 times just to be sure I was seeing what I was seeing. What I got from that video was that the old people are more concerned about themselves and protecting what they have built than actually delivering for the people of Zambia. Because if you have delivered and you have done a good job, I don't think young people saying we want to contest and be part of leadership should be such a big issue. That's what I feel like. If you've really done what you're supposed to do, seeing young people wanting to participate in politics shouldn't be such a big issue.
Okay, so now this is my advice to young people. Guys, let's go out there, get some education, number one. Some education is like formal education, some experience. Go and study, go and get some craft.
Yes.
Yeah. Society is so diverse. Some things you might not even understand, but as a leader, you ought to have an idea of certain things. So let's just prepare ourselves, and our time is coming. Yeah.
So now, I love what you have said, and this has been this has been an amazing interaction.
Yes, sir.
And I hope our viewers have also gotten 1 or 2 things. If you are viewing us and you're following our live stream, we encourage you to let your opinions. You can contribute to what we're talking about via our comment section. So Madam Edith here says, these are the youths we want, big brains.
Yo, youth power. Amaka.
As we are going towards 2026,
yes, sir.
My plea
yes,
is
sir.
that we do not do politics of violence. We've seen in the past where people, because I support party A and you support party B, or I belong to this, I'm pushing this ideology.
Yes, sir.
My appeal is that young people, let us not be used as tools for violence.
True. True.
Let us respect people even if they do not subscribe to what we subscribe to.
Yeah.
Let us create an environment that is open to divergent views.
Yeah.
And by all means, let us avoid maligning people.
Correct, Basa.
Let us avoid maligning people. Let us avoid character assassinations of people that do not subscribe to what we subscribe in.
Yeah.
It's okay for you, Mr. Aka, not to believe in what I believe in.
Yeah, true.
And it's okay for me not to believe in what you believe
exactly.
in. But we can still coexist.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what you believe in or what you don't believe in.
Absolutely.
So it pains my heart every time I see people going online, insulting each other, calling people names, threatening people. I feel like that is something that we should avoid.
Avoid, yes. Yes.
And whoever will be elected, let us support them, because at the end of the day, we only have one Zambia.
Yeah.
If the Zambia as a country is doing well, we as the people are going to do well. So it doesn't matter who is here, who is there. As long as what they're doing is best for the country, I feel like we should support each other. And there has to be a time for politics and the time for work.
Absolutely.
But the more we want politics, we have to
Bagamba. Yari kakata. Yari
politics.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think we need to understand that I may be UPND, you are PF, he's UDP, this one is you Shanshanyuko, we are you Shanshanyuko. But at the end of the day, we are all family, we are brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Because my cousin can be MMD.
Yes.
Yeah. And your cousin is this and that. Am I going to kill my cousin just because of a political party? No, no, no. Let's just love one another. Yeah.
The other vice that I feel like we should all call out, the way we are calling out defilement and all these other vices, is tribalism.
Yeah.
Nobody, we should all stand against tribalism. I shouldn't hate you based on your tribal.
Exactly.
I feel like we cannot overstate the importance for the end of tribalism in our country. At the end of the day, we are all Zambians, we are all human beings, and we are all from the same creed. So tribalism has no room in our society.
Absolutely.
So now, Mr. Aka.
Yes, sir.
It has been an amazing live stream. I've enjoyed doing this with you. Every Monday we do this live stream.
Wonderful.
As we are coming to the end of our live stream, what are your concluding remarks and what is your word to our viewers?
I would like to say that we all ought to just love one another. We only have one Zambia and one nation. So let's love one another. Soon we'll be going into this campaign. and we ought to love one another still more. Please, let's be sensitive. There's people right now who are trying to defile even your child. Be vigilant. You need to know, you ought to know where your child is, because somebody is busy arguing, eyeing your child, whether it's a boy or it's a girl. I find you're trying to defile my child. Uzamziba Yesu.
Mr. Aka, it was a pleasure having you.
Ndala, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So to our viewers, my name is Kusanta Ntangi Chilebe. Every Monday, catch us live right here on the Inuit Facebook page as we look at the stories that are making headlines in our country throughout the week. So today we were looking at the untimely death of Honorable Edith Nawakwi. She's a gallant, she was a gallant leader in our country, and she was spearheading the involvement of women in politics. Should be greatly missed. We also looked at the issue of Honorable Munir Zulu, who has been given a 12-month sentence with ad labor. So we are following that closely. Also, we looked at the protests that were conducted to fight against defilement and rape of young girls and children. And we also looked at the drama of Gezile and Junior Lwala as they go on in the internet. TikTok, to be specific, where they're fighting and calling each other names. We also looked at the constitutional amendments and so many other stories. So everybody that was in the comment section commenting, we thank you. Until next Monday, remember to download the Inuit app, either on Android or on iOS, and enjoy unlimited content. And we've got a wide range of programs that are coming your way. Until the next time, have a blessed week.
Is it them or is it me? If it's them, then set me free. I fear I'm never taken seriously, so choose wisely. Maybe to you, it's all a game. Are we playing? Are we playing? Cause I don't wanna be a part of this dilemma. Are we playing? Cause if I'm being honest in it, baby, I left my...
Ideally, before I called it, I was just playing. I was looking at Lusaka's baby mamas. I've got people I observe from a distance, and I've got all this baby mama drama going on. So in my mind, I was like, if I come up with a series around Lusaka's baby mamas, you know, it's like some will be on a guy just because they want money, some will use a guy to get money to go club. I looked at it and said that